What's up, everyone? Champit's back again for another UFC predictions video. This time, it's pay-per-view time or numbered event. I'm still not used to saying that. But still, Prochazka versus Ulberg. I'm super excited for this card. A lot of fun fights. Sad that Van versus Tyrus not on this card anymore. Still fights happening, so that's okay. But man, this is still such a sick card. So many fun matchups. We'll get into it. We'll get into it all. But first, as always, we'll go over what happened last week, how we did on predictions as well as bets. And yeah, sad it didn't end up going my way. The bet I really needed to hit in this card was Tabitha Ricci, and she didn't come through. So we'll go through all these, and I will say, low-key, I was kind of screwed on two of these, and I'll explain which ones those are. But first, let's go through each one of these. Tresean Gore over Azamat Bakoev. Oh, why didn't I put more? Why didn't I put more? It's okay. Tresean Gore, you absolute freaking legend. You absolute legend. Gets a finish over Tresean, or not try, gets a finish over Bakoev. Bakoev is just not good. He's not good. And I still stand on that until I die. And yeah, Gore got it done. I like Gore, man. He's got the skills. It's just sometimes he just doesn't put it together, but he put it together here. Good God, man. Felt so good. That felt so damn good. Because I don't know, some people were ultra confident in Bakoev for some reason. I don't know why, because I've never understood the hype on that guy. But yeah, next fight I had to bet on Haley Cowan versus Alice Pereira. Round 1 didn't look good. Round 2 was looking incredible, and then she gets memed by a knee. I mean, it is what it is. Like that's something I'll live with that. Like I think the read I had, I felt like was looking great, and I thought her cardio was looking like, I thought she could maintain that pace that she had her down around 2, and it's going to continue like that. And man, something about Alice Pereira, she flying knees herself into single legs, like into herself getting single leg. It was crazy to watch happen over and over and over again. Like I don't know. Yeah, I don't think this Alice Pereira girl's any good, and people are going to be beating her, so more often than not. But I mean, Haley Cowan gave it her all. That was a just crazy KO. That's for like KO of the year contender, to be honest with you. That was insane. So yeah, credit to Alice for getting that. The next fight I had a bet on, I believe, was Tom. It might have been Alessandro Costa, actually. Alessandro Costa beat Stuart Nickel. I put him in a parlay. He made it look easy. I'm shocked the judges had Stuart Nickel up around. What were they watching? I don't know. But yeah, I thought Costa made it look pretty easy, to be honest with you. Thomas Peterson over Guilherme Pat. Oh, I should have put more. It's okay. Yeah, Pat's just not good. He just doesn't throw. You can be held up against the fence, and yeah, like that's about it. And round 3, Thomas Peterson beat the living crap out of him, at least 10-8. So yeah, Peterson absolutely did what he needed to do, get the job done. Love that guy, man. He's pretty good. I don't know why people think this guy's like a bum. He's not. And his walkout to All-Star was pretty freaking sick. So shout out to Thomas Peterson. The next fight I had to bet on, Ruchala point spread plus 7.5. Oh my God. I want to cry. I want to cry because it would have hit if he didn't grab the fence and get a point taken. Like that's like the worst thing. Like it hurts so much. It hurts so much to lose on that. It's okay. I'll live, but yeah, it's just I think it was honestly like a great bet, especially at the odds. And like he competed. He did compete. And I mean, credit to Delano. Delano looked amazing, but it's like Ruchala, I think, is gonna make this at least somewhat competitive, and he did, in my opinion. And he stayed there till the very end. It's just point taken. A referee decides to do his job for once, and yeah, it is what it is there. The next fight I had a bet on, I believe, Ethan Ewing. I believe it's Ethan Ewing versus Rafael Estevam. Ewing, man, he is so good. I should have put more on this. Yeah, I mean, like, I was like, I'm a little afraid early on in the fight, but as the fight goes on, it's Ewing all day. Man, I shouldn't have had any worries. Ewing just completely didn't have anything to worry about because Estevam couldn't get any takedowns off on Ewing. he looked incredible, man. What can I say? I loved what I saw from Ethan Ewing here. I think he's a super real guy at 135. And it gets a late finish. Beautiful. Next fight I had to bet on. Tommy McMillan, -7.5, as well as fight ends by KO. This was very last minute. It was a friend of mine suggested it. Like Lucky Tim or whatever. So shout out to him. He's known in the betting community. Very sharp guy. He's like, this guy doesn't process up anyone. Like Tommy McMillan. Usually guys shoot on him and he guillotines them. And so like, that's like a super square take. And I was like, oh, okay, good point. And I think he mentioned like, he hurts dudes to get to that point. So fight ends by KO, because that's all of Zacchini's win condition, as well as McMillan having the chance to KO the guy. And that's what happened. McMillan just got Zacchini out of there and just complete chaos and he just couldn't handle anymore. So yeah, a good win by McMillan, although it's like Zacchini's one of the worst there is. But yeah, I mean, what it is what it is. I don't think he's as bad as people make him out to be, but there are things to like about him, in my opinion. So yeah. Next one I had to bet on Tabitha Ricci versus Verna Jandiroba. My whole read on the fight was Tabitha Ricci's takedown defense is good enough to win this fight. It wasn't. it wasn't. Although I'll tell you what, losing this +3.5. Come on, are you serious? Are you serious? I lost this +3.5. She won round 3. But because of the cardio aspect, which I mentioned, but I mean, Ricci just couldn't stop takedowns, and because of that, is just, I mean, that was the fight. Obviously, she wasn't going to compete on the ground. She did a good job of getting up at points, but there were times in the end of rounds where Verna would get able to pass and get into a position where Tabitha can't even think of doing anything because she'll screw herself over. So, I mean, it's really credit to Verna Jandiroba doing what she needed to do to win. So honestly, all credit to her. And yeah, that's the reason why I have a loss on this card. It's fine. I'll live. I didn't go too crazy on this card anyways, because I wasn't like super duper crazy about it. Ricci was like my favorite play, but even my favorite play, I didn't put too much on it. Honestly, I will say the card this weekend, I'm not ultra crazy about either. I do have a big play though. I will say that. But for the most part, it's going to be kind of like this coming week. But yeah, that's that betting wise. But in terms of picks, I did pretty good. Although I will say I totally forgot to change my pick from Dakota Hope to Kai Kamaka. I put in the comments that I had Kamaka, but I mean, it's whatever. I don't really care. I lost on Hope. That's fine with me. I didn't even have a chance to talk to it because I did the video on Sunday, but I didn't even upload it till later in the week because I don't know, I was just lazy. But yeah, Kai Kamaka did what he needed to do. It was a close decision though. Although I will say I was having technical difficulty, so I didn't really go back to watch the fight. I don't know who necessarily won, but I heard it was like really close and low-key could have went to Dakota Hope. Barboza beats Gatto. What are you doing throwing like a kick like that to Gatto? Although I'm not sure if Gatto actually put her out or anything like that. I don't think it did, but it looked like she did. But Barboza just kept getting on top. I mean, but it's just, honestly, it was bad fight IQ from both girls. Like, just going for the losing position, going for stuff, and possibly losing rounds and stuff like that. It's just, not good looks from either girl. That was beautiful. Venata, Flowers. I told you, don't touch this fight. You don't want to trust Lando Venata after 3 years, and you don't want to trust Darius Flowers at all. Darius gets it done. He wanted it more. I mean, I mentioned that in my breakdowns. Like, he might just win just because he wants it more. If Venata just any sort of adversity, he's like, whatever. Yeah, good job for Flowers to get a win. Talked about this one. Yakaya Ribeiro, what's there to say? I mean, Yakaya didn't look great, to be honest with you. I mean, until the fight hit the ground, but otherwise, I mean, on the feet, it wasn't really good against Ribeiro. And Moicano versus Duncan. I went with Moicano. I never go with Moicano in the win fights, but I picked him here because I think he can maybe take the back or something, and that's what happened. And Chris Duncan's I mean, he hurt Duncan first off because Duncan's defense isn't the best at all by any means. But once he got the back, able to work his rear naked choke series and get it done. So shout out to Renato Moicano. So yeah, now let's get on to what we care about. UFC 327. Oh, I'm so excited to go over this. A lot of fun fights on this card. Charles Radke versus Francisco Prado. This is an interesting one. I'm going to go Radke decision, and I've been thinking about it. Like, I'm not crazy about this. Like, I was thinking, oh, yeah, I'm going to go Radke. I think I might just bet him. I don't know, honestly, because, I mean, Radke's chin is not good. I don't trust it. Although, at the same time, Prado doesn't really hit that hard. He's like a former 155er now at 170. I don't really like much about Prado at all, other than the fact that he trains at ATT, which is a gym I really rate a lot. I mean, he's on roids, I guess, Prado. I mean, I think Radke's the better boxer on the feet. His takedowns aren't the best, though, Radke, but I think his ground game is way better than Prado's, and if he does get it there, I think he can absolutely grapple him. So, like, what I'm thinking is, like, Prado has a great chin. I think he does have a great chin. And, like, what I'd be interested in maybe, if there's a big price difference between the money line of Charles Radke and submission/decision for Charles Radke, that's how I want to play this. Because I didn't really see Charles Radke putting Prado's lights out. I just don't see it happening. But can I see a submission? Sure. I don't think Prado's ground game is anything extraordinary. And decision, I think, is more often than not probably what happens. I don't hate the idea of, like, overs or something like that for this fight. But, like, the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking maybe it's better not to do business with Charles Radke. Like, I'm not crazy about this guy. But, I mean, if this, like I said, if the submission decision is like a lot better than just his money line, I can maybe get myself onto Charles Radke in some way, because I do think he wins. I think he mixed in grappling. Maybe it was just a cage push. But if he does get on the ground, work him on the ground, and I think it goes to decision. Kelvin Gastelum versus Vicente Luque. If Luque wants to win, he probably needs to grapple. He's at middleweight. I have no idea what he's going to look like at middleweight. I want to go KG by decision. Look, the sad truth is that he's the last losses he's had, he's kind of quitting all of them, to be honest with you. As sad as it makes me to say, because I love Luque so much. I still do. But I mean, I just, as long as Kelvin Gastelum's takedown defense works, I mean, he should box up Vicente at this point. I think he's got a great chin. Luque's chin is not the same as it used to be. But I don't know, something about this fight, I don't want to touch this. I don't want to touch Gastelum. Honestly, I don't trust him. It's hard to trust him even in like a fight like this where I think Luque is pretty washed. I mean, maybe honestly, I wouldn't be shocked at all if Luque does get takedowns here and maybe can find some sort of sub or something. Probably not, but or take it to decision where he's just wrestling the whole time. Maybe Luque returns back to being prime Luque at middleweight. You need less of a weight cut to feel nice and strong again. He's got a great chin again. I don't know. But I think it's KG. I think he gets the job done. I think he boxes up Luque on the feet and keeps the fight on the feet. And yeah, wins by just being the better boxer. But I'm not crazy about it. I don't really want to bet this fight. Markel Medeiros versus Chris Padilla. Give me Medeiros. I don't think much of Padilla, to be honest with you. I think I'm surprised by the odds. I'm going to be on Medeiros in some way. Probably not too heavy. Like, I don't want to be on trusting him that much. But Chris Padilla is in like close fights all the time. I don't even think he beat Jai Herbert. I don't even think he won this fight. Rong Zhu was kind of a close fight before his eye just completely exploded. Ismail Bonifim was beating him until his gas tank just died on him, and he missed weight for that fight, if I remember correctly. I mean, Lontop is just terrible. Like, he's been running hot. I think he's kind of been a little bit lucky with some of the things going his way. And Medeiros, I don't, and people hate Medeiros for some reason. I don't, and I guess it's because he's going to decision and stuff like that. He's not finishing dudes, but I think this guy's like pretty all right, to be honest with you. I don't think this guy is like bad by any means. Like, sure, maybe you don't get finishes or whatever, but he's fighting smart for the most part. The Hubbard fight does worry me, like he can be grappled, but in a fight where I do think that Medeiros can keep this on the feet, I think it's like at the very least 50-50. Surprised that the odds are what they are, and I'm going to be on Medeiros in some way, but not doing anything crazy with it. Yeah, because I think he's the better striker of the two. If this is a pure stand-up fight, it's going to be Medeiros. I know Chris Padilla is a dog. He's a dog, and he will mix into wrestling, but I don't think it's going to be necessarily super useful. And I think the height is going to... not the height, but I think Medeiros uses his range well enough to be able to keep the distance to not get taken down in those situations, is what I'm trying to say. Tatiana Suarez versus Lupita Godinez. I hate to say it. What? Well, what is this pick present? Give me Lupi first off. That's crazy to me. I like Lupi here, to be honest with you. I think Suarez is washed. I'm going to be honest. I had money on her against Lemos, a pretty big money, and I was like, she looks awful. She looks awful. And against Wei Li, she looked awful as well. No shame losing the Wei Li how she did, to be honest, in my opinion. She's one-dimensional, though. And I think Lupi has the ability to keep this fight on the feet. And I get it. Lupi is stupid. She is stupid. Her fight IQ is bad. I will say, we've seen improvements. Against Pilastri, she's fighting how she should be. Against Jessica Andrade, fighting how she should be. There's some changes going on. She's fighting somewhat smart, may I say. I've been liking that. So maybe it's not as bad as people make it out to be. But look, we'll go into under the assumption that Lupi is stupid. Like, she might just still grapple Tati, but Tati, like, physically is just done. Just not the same girl anymore, sadly. And on the feet, it's not even close. It's going to be Lupi all day. And the grappling, I think Lupi is strong enough to keep this fight from being like a disaster on the ground and can find ways and transitions to find ways up or maybe re-wrestle. I think she can maybe possibly cage push here. Yeah, give me Lupi, though. I think she can absolutely win this fight. And I like the odds for it. I'm not going to go too crazy because it does worry me that... trusting her like that blindly. It's not Julia Pilastri where I had like a huge bet on Lupi Godinez, right? It's not the same as that one where I was like, oh yeah, she could be stupid and she'll win whatever way she wants. There's a way where she fights stupid, she can lose. Somewhere like to the Janjidoba fight, which, oh my god, she's so winnable, man. It's anyways. But yeah, Lupi. I think she can keep this fight on the feet, but she's gonna box her up if it's kept on the feet. And yeah, I mean, Suarez just not the same physically. I don't think her cardio is anything amazing anymore. Like, she's not the same girl as she was before. It's sad to say. So yeah, Lupi Godinez, I'll be on her in some way. I'm not going to put anything more than a unit or anything like that. I'm probably going to put whatever is needed to make a unit on her. But that'll be like probably my second or third biggest bet on the card. But yeah, I like Lupi here. I think she does get the job done. Mateus Gamrot versus Esteban Ribovics. Gamrot, I think Gamrot just wrestles him. I'll be on Gamrot in some way. I'm interested because I'm seeing a lot of people on Ribovics, so I'm thinking maybe there's a chance the line comes in. If it does, I'll be more willing to put a little more on Gamrot. I think Gamrot's going to be able to take this guy down. Ribovics has not shown me anything to necessarily tell me he's going to be able to stop takedowns here. I know he stopped a bunch of takedowns from Brenner, but I don't think Brenner's got the best takedowns, to be honest with you. I know Lake Radzhabov got him down a bunch. I know it's been a while since that happened. Rastrak got him down at one point. But Mateus Gamrot is just another level to these guys, honestly. He's just another level. Yes, Gamrot doesn't have the best job at holding people down, but I don't know. I've not really seen Ribovics show the best ability to get up either. So it's going to be a battle of that. And I think Mateus Gamrot's going to be able to wrestle here and win. I am scared because it's damage-based scoring and stuff like that, and maybe Ribovics can get a win, something like that. But I think Gamrot's just so good, man. And I think he does get the job done here. So yeah, give me Gamrot. I think the wrestling will work, and I think the pace he puts on. I mean, Rebovic's going to handle the pace, but the wrestling pace he puts on is going to be a little too much for Rebovic's to handle stopping the wrestling, is what I'm trying to say. But that's a sick fight. Kevin Holland versus Randy Brown. I don't know, man. Give me Randy Brown by decision. I just think he's probably the cleaner guy. I'm scared about the chin just getting cracked randomly. I'm thinking about putting a little play on Randy, but I don't want to at these odds, but the line's coming in, so I can maybe get into it. I think he cares more. Honestly, probably the better way to play Randy Brown's maybe more significant strikes, because I just trust him to throw more. Like, Holland does have the ability to just detonate him, but I think Randy Brown's just a more active guy, right? It's so weird though, because both these guys are usually used to being the long, lanky guy, but now they're fighting each other. They're fighting two long, lanky guys. It's like I don't really know how the dynamics are going to really look. That's why it's a pretty cool fight. But yeah, I mean, Kevin Holland looks terrible these days, though. Like, I mean, he looked good against Gunnar and Vicente, but if D-Rod, he looked terrible. Mike Malott, I didn't think he looked great at all. Randy Brown, I thought was doing all right in round 2. He lost round 1 to Bob Feeman. He was doing all right in round 2, but got finished there. Dalby fight, got dropped by Dalby. Battle fight, arguably could have won, but Battle. I did think Battle did enough, but it was a really close fight, and I mean, some of these are pretty good wins. Zaleski, Salikov, like those are good wins. I just think Randy Brown's a more serious guy. I'm going to trust him here to win this fight. I'm not ultra crazy about it. I won't just putting crazy amount of money on this one, but I think this is going to be a good one to enjoy. I think this is like a really fun fight. Patricio Pitbull versus Aaron Pico. Here we are. My big bet of the card. I think this is like literally like the biggest favorite on the card. And I think there's for a freaking good reason. Aaron Pico is going to take Pitbull's head off. I love Pico here. I think he's going to smash Patricio Pitbull. Yes, I get it. I am scared to death of Pico just getting chinned. I get it. I am scared of that. But Pitbull's chin is not good anymore. He's been through too many fights and wars like that. You cannot take the shots that Pico will be throwing at him. To the point where it's like, yeah, both guys' chins, I think, are kind of liabilities at this point. But the thing is, Pitbull's extremely patient, not necessarily like the biggest volume kind of guy, right? And because of that, there's less chances of Pico getting cracked or something like that. And Pico's boxing's pretty good. Just sometimes he just leaves himself super open. Like, yeah, Pitbull can catch him in those things. And like, if it happens, it happens. You know, I'll live with it. But Pico's going to be throwing with freaking heat. And I think that heat's going to be landing on Pitbull. Yeah, like I think Pico is going to push Pitbull back. I mean, Pitbull always gets pushed back in fights, honestly, these days, I feel like. I mean, not so much the Ige fight, but still. It's just how he is, trying to be counters and whatever. I think, but also the thing about Pitbull is that, how do I want to say this? Like, I'm trying to find the words to describe Pitbull, and like, yeah, he's a good counter striker. He's good, and he's low volume and stuff like that. But my point is, he doesn't throw anything crazy. Some of the things that get Pico caught are like the crazy shots. The Lerone Murphy spinning elbow. That's crazy. Like, people don't usually do that as much. Pitbull doesn't really do things like that. He's just more traditional, do your basics and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with doing the basics. It's actually a pretty good thing. But I feel like Pico is not going to be caught by those things, right? And Pitbull's aging as well. He's an old guy, 38 years of age. Like, he's not getting better. He's got a great guillotine, but I don't think that's going to be working on Pico. I think Pico has all the wrestling upside here. And I think he can keep this fight on the ground and be safe down there with Pitbull, who's a really good jiu-jitsu guy. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think Pico's going to be worried about that. I like seeing Pico training with Hamzat still, and I think Armin, those kind of guys, good to see. Yeah, I think Pico is going to take Patricio Pitbull's head. This is my biggest bet of the card. Pico, I'm ride or die with Pico this weekend. I was so impressed how well he looked, how good he looked against Lerone Murphy, who's a stud, by the way. Laura Murphy's a stud. There's no shame in that at all. I think Pico's going to take Pitbull out. Cub Swanson versus Nate the Train Landwehr. Banger fight. This is going to be a contender for Friday night. This or the main event. I'm going to go Nate the Train. I'm going to go by him by decision. It could be a submission, possibly, to be honest. But the reason why I'm going with Nate the Train, first off, elephant in the room, Cub Swanson retirement fight. Retirement fights don't necessarily go the best they can. Cub Swanson's going to need to knock Nate the Train out. Because Nate the Train is going to keep on coming. He's going to keep on coming. Volume. You're in Nate the Train zone. I think Nate the Train is going to be able to do that. I don't like the long layoff for Cub Swanson. I don't know what that's going to look like. I'm sure he's going to be fine, but it's a valid question to wonder. It's scared. Don't get me wrong. I'm very scared about Nate the Train just getting KO'd and stuff. His chin's not the best himself. Duo Choi fight wasn't a good look because it got really grappled, but I don't really think Cub Swanson's going to be able to do that here against Nate the Train. But yeah, the pace. I think the pace is going to be huge. And honestly, this Billy Q fight, I think is a similar stylistic fight here. But Billy Q, I thought, was like pretty cleanly winning that fight, and then he gets caught. It could be the same here. But yeah, I think Nate the Train can pretty much do the same thing, but I think he's just a much more functional version of Billy Q. Billy Q is just never in like an easy fight at all. That's just not who he is. Always in tough fights. And I think Nate the Train, just a better style of that. And I think gets a job done. He needs a win too. So give me Nate the Train. I think it's going to be a great banger fight. Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker. What do you want me to do with this? And I will be looking at betting Nate the Train, but I'm not interested in betting too much against Cub Swanson. It's just not something I really want to do. I love Cub. I saw him at Tampa that fight night, the Covington versus Buckley one. Really cool guy. And I was like sick fight Cub. I was like, hey, thank you, man. Nice little interaction, but yeah, Cub's a guy. Cub's a man. I wish him very good things after his retirement. Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker. What do you want me to do with this? I'm gonna go Reyes. I think he's just the cleaner guy with the one shot thing he needs to do, but Walker can do something funny and just KO Reyes as well. It's like whoever's chin gets touched first, whatever, it happens. I'm going Reyes, but I don't fault anyone going Walker here. I don't want anything to do with this fight. No, don't tell me. Don't let me do anything. Honestly, watch this fight go to decision. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if that's the case. Like, maybe this turns out to be like Johnny Walker versus Anthony Smith. Like, Dominic Reyes just got KO'd bad against Ulberg, and now he's just all of a sudden more tentative. And then Walker, like in the Thiago Santos fight, just at range point fighting. You never know. That could happen. So I wouldn't be betting on like no under or something like that just blindly. I don't think that's necessarily worth it. Just stay away. I think just stay away, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, whoever lands first likely wins. Want nothing to do with this. Curtis Blades versus Josh Hokett. This is one I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm gonna go Hokett, and I think he's gonna find a round 1 KO, but it doesn't make any sense to me because I can't really give good rationale other than I think he means Curtis Blades. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's gonna have an easy time wrestling Blades. I don't think his boxing or like striking is better than Blades, but I'm still picking him to freaking chin Blades. I don't really have good logic for it, but I don't think Blades' chin is trustworthy at all. The pace Josh Hokett pushes on dudes is crazy. He has an insane pace pushing, and like that's gonna give dudes problems, even no matter how good they are at wrestling. I mean, against Freeman, people think this guy's a complete bum after what he did to him. I mean, he just violated him. The name Denzel Freeman means something very different after that fight happened than it did before. Like, that used to be a respectable name. Now no one thinks he's good at all. And he's actually pretty all right. Obviously Blades is way better. I mean, don't get me wrong though. I wouldn't be shocked if Blades gets a KO here. Like, this is definitely such a humongous leap in competition to the point it's like, I don't want to trust this. They have these on DraftKings. They have these point spreads for specific rounds. If you want to be on Hokett if he's winning this fight, he needs to be winning round 1. In my opinion, he needs to be winning round 1. So take that like -1.5 spread on Hokit round 1. I think that's the way to play this, because there's a world where, yeah, you could be doing good round 1 and then maybe something bad happens and it goes downhill from there, right? So if I had to look at this fight to bet in some way, maybe it'd be that. Yeah, but honestly, I do think Hokit means a victory. I think Blades' chin is that bad to the point where Hokit just catches him and he just goes out. I wouldn't be shocked if Blades does the same. I want nothing to really do with this fight otherwise. Pass for me. Azamat Murzakanov versus Paulo Costa. I don't even know what to think of this fight. I don't think crazy things about Azamat. I'm going decision because I think Paulo Costa is tough, but I just Costa at 205. How he's gonna look? I mean, I think he's probably gonna be looking fine. He's gonna look fine. I mean, he's probably gonna look maybe even bigger than Azamat. I think Azamat does have the death touch. There's no denying that. This dude hits different. But I won't be shocked if Costa just kicks at him at range. I don't know. Like, the reason why I'm kind of going Azamat is because of I thought the Dustin Jacoby fight. Dustin Jacoby's a fantastic kickboxer, and he was able to find the moments necessary to win that fight in a tough, grueling fight that I think could be similar to this one. But Paulo Costa, I've not been crazy about how he's looked at all until, I mean, he looked great against Kopylov. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you that. But I don't know. It's hard to trust. But I don't want nothing to do with this fight. Just flat out. I don't want to bet Azamat at all. If I had to bet on a side, it'd probably be Costa. Maybe be better to bet him live than pre. But it's just hard to trust. It's hard for me to trust either of these guys. I had a good amount on against Azamat against Rakic, and Rakic was winning quite easily. Honestly, he was winning quite easily. Maybe Paulo Costa can wrestle here. I don't know. I don't even know if he wants to wrestle. I don't know what to tell you. I want nothing to do with this fight. I'm just going Azamat being the true troll fiver or whatever. I don't know. What is Paulo Costa even doing at 205? I don't really know. I don't know, man. It should be a 185. Jiri Prochazka versus Carlos Ulberg. I am beyond excited for this fight. I mean, any Jiri Prochazka fight. I mean, this dude is the most exciting fighter on the roster, bar none. It's not even close. I think it's a close one. I'm extremely pissed that's not Poatan versus Ulberg, because I would have had a lot of money on Ulberg. Or honestly, Poatan versus Prochazka 3. I would have also had a lot of money on Prochazka there, because I think both these guys beat Poatan at this point. But I'm going to go at Prochazka to win here. But I have no confidence. I'm telling you what, I have no confidence, because I think Carlos Ulberg is extremely legit. Carlos Ulberg sleeps Poatan. I'm telling you, he sleeps Poatan. But this is a tough one, because I do think he can sleep Jiri. I really do. I think Jiri survives it, though, and I think he puts it on Ulberg, because Jiri is just... This dude, once that train gets going, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Jiri Prochazka is one of the just... He's a freight train that does not stop. I do worry about the leg kicks, because Ulberg does have some good leg kicks. Yeah, I mean, like, Yuri's going to give him chances to chin him. That's the thing that scares the living crap out of me. So I just can't bet this fight. I don't want to bet this fight. I mean, I think the under is probably pretty safe. Like, fight doesn't go. Like, I mean, how is this minus 310? I'm surprised it's not even wider than that, to be honest. I mean, I'm not looking to necessarily, like, lock that in or something like that. But, I mean, more often than not, Jiri fights just don't go the distance. Jiri Prochazka probably has some ability to wrestle here, I think. Especially as the fight goes on. Like, later on in the fight, he can wrestle. Early on, probably not so much. Maybe cage push, but probably not. Because Ulberg, CKB, known for their takedown defense. Yeah, I think Prochazka's volume is going to be huge here and, like, really put it on Ulberg. So it's going to be Ulberg early KO, like 1 through 3, or Prochazka 2 through 5 KO. That's how I see it. Yeah. I rate both these guys. I think both these guys are extremely good. So I'm rooting for Jiri. I mean, I like both these guys. Again, like I said, I'm rooting for Jiri, though. Like, who doesn't love Jiri Prochazka? Also, this is complete narrative stuff. Ignore it because it's not really important at all. But Miami, every time the UFC comes to Miami, this is Redemption City. This is Redemption City. Let's go through all these cards and tell you what I mean. First Miami card in like recent times. Adesanya versus Pereira 2. Redemption. It's a rematch. Izzy beats Poatan, just gets all the glory after losing him a bunch of times. Second time they're in Miami in recent times. Sean O'Malley versus Chito Vera 2. Rematch. Sean O'Malley gets back the fight. That's his one loss on his record. And redemption. Third time in Miami. Volkanovski versus Lopez. Am I remembering right? Is that the third? I believe it is. Volkanovski versus Lopez. Volkanovski fighting for the belt again to try and get his belt back after losing to Ilya, being out for so long. Gets the belt back. Redemption. He's a champ again. Oldest champ of all time at the lower weight classes. Redemption City. There's a Redemption City here. Jiri Prochazka gets the belt back after losing a bunch of times against Poatan. He's a champ again after so long. That's Redemption City. So, yeah, Jiri Prochazka. If you're going narrative based, there you go. But I'd say probably ignore that. Like I'm just talking at this point with that stuff. But in all honesty, I think Jiri's his defense has gotten better. It has gotten better. Like on like the head movement wise, which I think could probably be huge here in this fight. So yeah, stay sharp, Jiri. Tank the shots and drown Ulberg and get the win. Pretty much everyone's rooting for you. I like Ulberg though. I wouldn't mind seeing him as champ. But I'm not betting this fight. I don't want anything really to do with this fight. Maybe like an under. Maybe a fight ends by KO if the numbers are right. But that number's probably disgusting. Yeah. Those are my thoughts. Let's go through all the fights again. More takedowns, more significant strikes for each one of the fights. Radke versus Prado, more takedowns. Radke. Prado, I don't see why he would go for takedowns. I forgot to say this about Prado earlier. This guy has the brain size of a peanut in terms of fight IQ. Not maybe he's a pretty smart guy just in real life, but fight IQ. That last fight against Nikolai Veretennikov, worst display of fight IQ I've ever seen. So maybe he does go for takedowns. I don't know. But in reality, Radke should be the only one really going for takedowns here because he's the only one really with a good takedown game, in my opinion. Or ground game, I should say. So yeah, I agree with that. And I'll go six strikes is interesting because Prado probably more volume. Radke's the better boxer. I'm going to go Radke, but I want nothing to do with that because Radke can maybe get on top and maybe land some things there. Significant strike-wise. Kelvin Gastelum versus Vicente Luque. Gastelum more six strikes. I just think he's the better boxer of the two. More takedowns, Vicente Luque, because I don't see why Gastelum would be going for any takedowns here at all. Medeiros Padilla more takedowns for sure. Medeiros is not going for any takedowns, and Medeiros more six strikes because I think he's just a much cleaner guy on the feet, and I think he's gonna land more and use the distance management. Tatiana Suarez, Lupita Godinez. Probably Suarez more takedowns because I think she's going to be more urgent to try and go for them. That's her whole win condition. She needs to get for takedowns. But more six strikes, Lupita Godinez. Just a way better fighter on the feet. Just way better getting strikes. And I don't think Suarez is going to be in a good enough position to get six strikes if she gets on top. Like, I think it could be similar to the Lemos fight where it's like she's trying to get a bunch of takedowns, but just none of them are working. And she's not landing any significant strikes in that process. So, yep. Mateus Gamrot, Esteban Ribovics. Gamrot more takedowns all day. And more six strikes is tough because I think that fight does play out on the ground a bunch. But they don't score six strikes on the ground too often, especially with how Gamrot strikes, like stuff like that. So I'll go Ribovics, but I want nothing to do with that six strike bet. Kevin Holland versus Randy Brown. Randy Brown more six strikes. I just think he's the more active guy of the two. More takedowns, I guess you would low-key kind of think Kevin Holland. I don't really think Randy Brown's going to go for any takedowns. He's not really that kind of guy. Neither is Kevin Holland, though, so he just has a better submission game than Randy does, in my opinion, so I guess. Pitbull, Pico more sick strikes, Pico more takedowns. I just think he has Pitbull covered here. Totally. Cub Swanson, Nate the Train. Nate the Train more sick strikes. He's just a volume guy. That's who he is. And more takedowns could be interesting. I'll go Nate the Train because I think he's gonna push up pace and stuff. But I don't know. I don't really see either guy really going for many takedowns here. I'll still go Nate the Train, but I'm not crazy about that. But more sick strikes is definitely Nate the Train. Just who he is. Dominic Reyes, Johnny Walker. I'll go with the more cleaner striker, Dominic Reyes, for more sick strikes, but I don't know. More takedowns, I guess Walker. I don't see why Reyes would go for takedowns here because he doesn't really do that often, honestly. So, yeah. Curtis Blades, Josh Hokett. More sick strikes. Genuinely, I don't know for this fight because I can be either way for this. I guess Hokett more takedowns because I think he's gonna just come at Blades and more sick strikes for him at the same time. I want nothing to do with that one. Either way, it can be either one. Mirzakhanov, Costa, takedowns Costa. I don't see why Mirzakhanov would go for any here. More sick strikes. I don't know. Maybe Costa because he's more volume than Azamat is for the most part. So I'll go Costa, but I don't know, man. And then main event, Ulberg versus Jiri Prochazka. Prochazka more takedowns. Ulberg just doesn't go for takedowns really. And more sick strikes. I'll go Prochazka too because I think this fight extends. But if it doesn't, it absolutely could be Ulberg. So, yep. Those are my picks. That's everything. Thanks so much for watching. You can check me out at betmma.tips, champ bets. And yeah, it's an exciting card. A lot of fun fights, a lot of good matchups. I'm not super crazy about many bets on this card. In terms of like bets and stuff like that, I do like. I'm interested in Medeiros. I like Pico a lot. I'm interested in Gamrot, especially if the line comes in, because a lot of smart people are on Ribovic. So I wouldn't be surprised if the line comes in. I'll definitely be on Gamrot if it keeps coming down. What else? Lupi Godinez, I'm interested in. Nate the Train, I'm interested in. Not crazy interested in, but I'm interested in. And maybe Radke sub decision, and maybe some other props. Like what are some perhaps other props that I just like take a quick look at and think about? Just thinking in my head. I mean, maybe Pico ITD or something like that. KO. Oh, Randy Brown, maybe, especially if the line keeps coming down. Yeah, it's hard to come up with like props and stuff like that. If I have any changes in opinion, see anything I really like, I'll put it in the comments down below. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Again, check me out. Check out my betmma.tips. Subscribe, like the video, all that stuff. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. Peace. Have a great one. I hope you all do great on betting. Have a great one. See ya.